right, good evening, guys. We did a live earlier with our NWACP president of the Tangible Hope Parish, and also with Senator, well, soon to be Senator Charles Lewis, state senate, running for the state senate seat over in Florida. So we did an interview with him earlier, and now we want to talk about the presidential election, and we may even say something else to him a little bit on here too as well. Okay, and he is on the telephone. Charles, you on the telephone? Are you here, Charles? Let me see. Let me unmute the computer. Okay, Mr. Charles, you here? Okay, let me see.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, he hung up. I was there, but I saw him over there, but he hung up. I did see him over there, but he hung up. So he needs to call me back. All right, so Miss Jane, how you doing, baby?
You mean me?
Miss Jane? Miss Jean, I don't know why I call you Jane. Miss Jean, how you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. You okay?
I'm doing okay. Well, y'all, Miss Jean is the woman of the hour in Hammond, Louisiana when it comes to the Democrat Party. Her and her husband have labored and labored and labored so many years. I met her a few years ago before the president Barack Obama election. I met her before then, but you know, of course, we were so excited about that election. I really got involved that year, and she had us. She was getting places for us to meet, and had us doing phone bank and everything else. And her husband was, I think, still living at that time. Her and her husband have been so instrumental in making sure things happen for us in this area. Let me make sure. Mr. Charles, you there? Let me make sure. But she has been, they have been so, oh, I had to admit it, a lot. Mr. Charles, you there? You hear, Mr. Okay, you here. Okay. All right. Well, we so we have Mr. Charles who's running for the Senate seat for the state of Florida. I wish my mama would quit. Hold on, y'all.
Look at something broke. Something that broke.
What do you mean?
That's like glass right there.
I was sweeping up stuff.
Know that she just worried about her grandkids. So anyway, Pastor Johnson, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear
Okay. You hear me, Miss Charlotte?
Yes, ma'am.
And you hear me, JK?
Yes.
Okay, do y'all hear Mr. Charles? Say something, Mr. Charles. Say something, Mr. Charles. Y'all heard?
you. Yeah, we heard.
Okay, Mr. Charles, I'm gonna have to signal you when you need to talk, okay? Well, Miss Jane, like I said, I was telling y'all that she's been very inspirational and instrumental in making sure the Democrat Party is represented in the Hammond, Louisiana, and the Tangible Hope Parish. And they have had some others that she worked alongside before. She's had some that they disagree with how she did things, but she's still holding on. And y'all know that she's got some age, but baby, she fights. She fights for equality, and she fights for the Democrat Party here in Hammond, Louisiana. Matter of fact, she's gonna tell y'all about the big meeting they're having tomorrow that I plan to be at with some more people, and then they're gonna have a rally. I'm ready for the rally. I'm ready for the signs and the shirts and the rally. It surely is. But anyway, we do have Miss Charlotte on here that's a dead for Kamala Harris, and she worked beside Kamala Harris, so she knows how to tell people that all that stuff is a bunch of garbage when they talk about what she did to black men and all this kind of stuff, and how she did this and that. Now she lets you know that she did prosecute because that's what she is, but whoever she prosecuted they deserve to be prosecuted. And then she made alternative ways for them to be rehabilitated as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss James, I don't want you to leave me, but is there anything that you want to tell us before we go into the Project 25 and the rest of these people that have a lot of information? Because Brother Charles, he might not have it in front of him, but Sister Charlotte might have it in front of him because he has kind of went in and picked stuff out of Project 25 that he want to let people know that you could be affected with. But this
No,
is
he
what I
knows it all. He knows it by, he knows it.
okay. But I want to say this: we got to understand that most people don't believe that this thing can come to pass. So some kind of way we got to let them know and make them know that why take that chance? Because yes, they're talking about that this thing was done by the Heritage Foundation, and this thing is like 30 to 40 years old. So, and then some trying to put false information out there and said that President Barack Obama took stuff out of it and exercised it, which from what I'm hearing on the platforms that I'm on, that is not true.
No.
And so, and, and they mostly talking about something that he did with the Obamacare, which Romney had wanted to do, and he kind of worked with his plan to get his plan through. But they are taking and telling a whole false truth about it and saying that the Democrats is the one taking stuff out of it. And now here recently, since I think one individual that was a part of Project 25 being put together, or that was a part of that organization, has endorsed her. So now they have a false thing out there saying, well, Project 25 is the Democrats. It's Kamala Harris now. Because why come they endorse her and they didn't endorse DT? And we got to be careful some of the things we say on here because I am on TikTok too. And I don't want to lose my TikTok page. So we can't say the whole word of
Right.
people of we have to say YT for people
Mm-hmm.
that are not colored. We can't say the above word. We got initials that we have to say when we talk about unaliving babies. And when it comes to the the word when people are doing something, the police are doing something to people, we have to say unalive. So kind of work with me, y'all. Work with me. But Miss Jane, what do you want to start off saying? What would you like to tell the people all around the United States? Because we got people on TikTok from everywhere. We got Miss Charlotte from California. We got, tell them where you from, JK?
I'm from New Jersey.
She's from New Jersey, and you live in New Jersey. And we got Pastor Johnson from Hammond, and he really had wanted to talk about this issue. And we thank God we got a man of God that is supporting Kamala Harris and want to talk about this election and how important it is. And I already know Miss Jane going Democrat all the time anyway. But Miss Jane, I know you're not just voting for Kamala because she's a Democrat. Can you talk to us about why you spending tireless hours trying to get things together for the Democrat Party as a whole?
There's so many different reasons. Kamala Harris, of course, she is a Democrat, and therefore, basically, her views and her values are very similar to mine. But also, I'm an old school feminist. I remember the bra burnings, and I remember, the breaking down the wall, and just as a woman, I just see this as a very important moment in the history of women in our country. It is
Absolutely.
shameful that here we are in 2024 and we've never had a woman president. You know, and the whole idea that women can't do it. You look around the world. There's Indira Gandhi. There's Angela Merkel, Margaret Thatcher. Some of the strongest leaders that we've had have been women. So that's just bogus, and it is really it's a mark against us. we went this far. We finally got a black man to be the president with Barack Obama, but it's long overdue to have a woman president. And way back when they had the last presidential election, Kamala Harris was my first choice. As among all the many candidates in the primary back when Joe Biden won.
Mhm.
And I just think that she's an extraordinary woman. She's very intelligent. She is strong, and it's beautiful to see the combination of a very feminine woman. She clearly is a woman and enjoys being a woman, but she is strong as steel. And I think a lot of people are afraid that if we have a woman, that the other countries are just going to roll over us. Well, they just obviously haven't listened to her, because she is a very strong woman, and she is going to own that Oval Office, and she's going to be the one that's making the decision. And I trust her. I think she's smart, and I think she is very competent, and I'm just very thankful that we have a good, strong candidate to go up against Mr. Trump.
Okay. So, Miss Jane, tell me this. Um, do you think if the people come out and vote that uh, that we really do have a chance for her to make it in?
Yes, absolutely. There are so many unknowns. A lot of my background in college was in math and science. And you learn very quickly that you cannot solve an equation unless you have one hard, unique fact for every unknown. In this equation for the presidential race, there are so many unknowns. And I think it's nice to have the polls and we can have our opinions, but until the race is over, I just don't think it is knowable. I think she absolutely has a chance. I think there are a significant number of Republican women that are not going to tell their husbands or anybody else who they're going to vote for. And they're
Right.
just going to sit there and smile. And then when it's time to vote, they're going to go in the booth and pull the curtain, and they're going to vote for Kamala Harris.
That's what
And
I'm talking
I, yeah, I don't know how many there are. We have no way to know, because as we learned when Hillary Clinton ran, that a lot of people kind of make it a sport to lie to the pollsters.
Right.
We went into that election night with all the pollsters saying she was a shoo-in. There was just no question about it. She had it in the bag. And then the votes started coming in, and people clearly had lied to the pollsters. And I think that we can count on that happening again. So what we need to do is just fight every minute, go out after every vote we can get, and then wait. And on election night, get a glass of wine and put our shoes off, and just wait and see what happens. But I think she absolutely has a shot. Absolutely.
about. So, Miss Jane, are we gonna do like we did when Obama won? Are we gonna have a headquarters?
Well, we don't have a headquarters. Uh, we haven't had one in quite a while. They're very expensive. And also, it's a little bit more dangerous these days than it was back in Obama's day. I'm not sure that I want to be responsible for having people sitting in a storefront, maybe just one or two people, when lots of people drive by, and there are a lot of people that are not well balanced. And some of them have guns. And if
True.
they drive by and see a sign saying Democratic headquarters, I just think it would be too dangerous. Our society is not what it was, you know, back in the Obama days.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to Pastor Johnston now. Pastor Johnston, you are a preacher and you are a pastor, and most of the time, I told the people that, and I know not all preachers and not all preachers of color, but I told the people that we were gonna have more problem out of probably the preachers of color, and we find across the board we hear a lot of people, men, Miss Charlotte and Mr. Charles, and JK, we hang out on TikTok. Matter of fact, we are on TikTok now. People are listening to us on TikTok now and sharing this live. Uh, we find that there are a lot of strong, intelligent black men that are voting for DT. And their story is that when DT was in and when Republicans was in, even in the past, they see more money in their accounts. Mind you, one of them was a business owner, so he said he saw his business do better and he saw more money. So what do you say? And then some of them are saying, some of the women too, she's not strong enough. And then some of the men are saying, and they're trying to use the Bible and said that she cannot have authority over the country because she's a woman. What is your take on that, Pastor Johnson?
Well, you're the ones that talked about what. First of all, you have to understand even the stimulus that we got under Joe Biden, that was government money. That what Trump gave and also what Joe Biden them gave, that was government money. That was not no personal account from Donald Trump, even though he wanted the credit for it and signed his name on it. So we have to make sure that we like you said a while ago, it's a lot of falsehood that's being told, and we have to know that uh uh we don't see this story before, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't saw the lies before. So why would you expect anything else other than lies?
Right, right. So what do you think about her being able? Because she's not gonna run the country by herself. She have a whole cabinet. She have a vice president. She have all kind of men that's gonna be by her side in position. So what do you think about this? Them saying that
I
she's a woman and she can't
well
lead.
I don't see I don't see why. I mean, because uh if she's qualified, then what's the problem?
Right. You think she gonna just
I don't have no problem voting for for the presidency. So I mean, those that have those issues, okay. You want to get. I'm trying to see how I want to put this in. Um, okay, they got the Republicans is represented by an elephant, right?
Yeah.
elephant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they emblem, and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
the Democrats is represented by a donkey, right?
Right.
Okay, so elephant is big, but a donkey he can carry more weight, and he's more controllable than a elephant. Or you get where I'm saying? Where I'm going with that?
Go with it.
Y'all get me? You you you
Yes.
could- you can control a donkey more than you control control an elephant.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
So you use that analogy because we saw what happened with January 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
We sure
Okay,
did.
okay. Well, y'all kind of see where I'm thinking about it. For it hollering about a woman can't lead. Look, you can get away from you with that crap.
Right.
Have they ever seen a woman fight? Women are not saying. So that analogy is out the window.
Let me say one more thing to that. When you go off in church, the majority of the churches, you're gonna find more women in church than you're gonna find men in church. The majority of the ones that I've been to.
Absolutely. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Pastor Justin was just telling me about that. We was at an event. He said, Renee, did you notice that these homies not that many men there? It was mostly women there. But shoot, that's what it has been because Pastor Justin could tell you he just happened to be there at this time. But down through the years, the church that he pastor right now, there's one secretary at that church, strong in the word of God and everything. When these preachers have left or when things have happened in that church in past times before him and the former pastor came, she had to hold it down until they can get a pastor. Am I right?
Yes.
Right.
Right.
She had to hold it down until they
Right.
were able to get a
That's
pastor.
true.
And in many of these churches, that's what has had to be, that has to happen in order for, or either that's all was coming, that's all the preacher was able to preach to, because the husbands and the men wasn't there.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right. I tell you what, you give me a strong woman behind me and let me go.
There you go.
Yeah, you can keep those weak men. Just give me a strong woman and we'll go do something.
That's right.
Hmm.
you're right. Right. And so, what do you want to say, JK?
Um, I was when Miss Jean was talking about the climate that Trump had made for. I remember when when Obama was running, I was doing that same thing that you guys were doing. Like we were you going, I was going to those meetings and running around, and I was in the salon we worked in. All the girls and we would run around and go and just go up to people and just it was just a different environment. And like you said, now he's made it so dangerous. Like you said, you couldn't sit in the storefront. You can't sit in the storefront, and that's part of your constitutional right to do
Excuse
that.
me,
You
JK.
know,
Charles. Excuse me. Charles said his call dropped and he's waiting.
I'm sorry.
What?
I was trying to tell Princess.
Okay, I
Charles
got
said
you.
his
Let me
call
see.
dropped,
Oh,
and I don't know if you have to pull him up or something, but he said let you know his call dropped and he's waiting.
oh, okay.
Okay, okay, I got you. Okay,
Sorry,
he's
thank
making.
you for
Thank you.
interrupting.
I'm sorry, Charles, but go ahead, OJK.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
So
we got
no,
you.
I was just thinking. So that just was making me think that he the damage that this man has done to the whole process of what we've all been through, as far as from the president on down to us having our right to vote, and the cheating. And then, they just sentenced that one lady that was participating in helping him cheat. And he says he accused everybody else from cheating. And
Mm,
she's got to do 9 years. I forget
come
her
on.
name. And so what kind of time is he going to get? At first I think we were all talking about that the other day, like whether he was going to really go to jail or not.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think, and but I don't know. He may go to jail because they're putting the other people that was with him in jail. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Well, he's gonna keep him out, but as long as he don't be in that White House.
yeah, as long as he don't be in that White House, I don't really care where he go. Like you said, they can keep him at the house. They can put him on house arrest, or they could keep him, wherever they want to put him. But I mean, I'd like to see him on one of those black sites where they put the terrorists at. It's just to be mean. But anyway, yeah, but he just has done so much damage because he's done a lot of stuff. And believe me, he's done some stuff to deserve to go there. Trust me, they just haven't talked about it yet. But
You think
yeah.
she's strong enough? So you think she's strong enough to run the country, and that is not an issue at all?
Who's that? No, say that again now. Do I
You
think she's just
think
strong enough to run Oh my God, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, yes. She, first of all, I used to love to watch her when she was a senator. When she could tear into those other senators and whoever was speaking before the Senate. She could really tear. I mean, she used that district attorney, mode on them, and she could really tear into them. And she's strong, and I mean, she's really she's coming into herself. I think she had to kind of tone it down a little bit, and now she's coming. Now she's allowing herself to kind of rev back up again. And I think she could do a tremendous job. First of all, you see how much more qualified. I don't know if you know, like she's just more They said they said she may be the most qualified person we've ever had run for
Yeah.
president.
Even surpassing Obama.
Oh yeah, even surpassing Obama, because Obama didn't have technically as much government. I mean, he worked in the community, and then he was only, I think he was only like in the Senate for a bit less than a year or so before
Right.
he was off to the White House almost, really. So I mean, yeah, she technically,
she's already served as president
yeah,
when President Biden was here?
yeah. They do it.
Okay.
There's a chart out with the list of all the things that each president, and they got your boy Trump with a big 0 with a big goose egg. He didn't do anything.
Well, let's go to Sister Charlotte, and then I'm gonna come to you, Charles. Sister Charlotte, what do you want to say about her? Because you work with her, and so can you tell a little bit of why you know that she's qualified and that she can handle herself as a president?
Well, I first of all, I have no doubt in my mind that she is not qualified, if in fact could be overly qualified. However, she is a tactician at what she does. She handles cases. You have to lay out a case as a prosecutor and prove someone guilty with just the documents that you have and present a compelling case for
Hmm.
someone to be prosecuted. As a senator, she had to do pretty much the same. If she brought a bill to the table, she had to be able to present it for people to understand it and buy into it and support her on it. The fear in her is not there because she's had to the arena that she what's that I'm here the arena that she had to uh work in was predominantly men, and trust me, there was no fear in her. But the other factor that I think is the most unique part about her is the fact that she was hard on tough on crime, hard on criminals who rightfully so should have been prosecuted, but she also has a heart, nurturing and caring. So not unlike certain people, tough on crime and knock your head against the car and all of these crazy things. The fact that she's a woman and she has that feminine quality brings that portion of humanity to the table, and I think she's going to be excellent. I don't have any fears. They're talking about other countries not respecting her. Okay, what the young people say, mess around and find out.
Right.
She's not a general. She has generals.
That's
She's
right.
not right. She has people that are going to step in all aspects of this how this country is ran. She just needs to be able to help direct them. And along with her vice president pick, he is a motivator and a person that can help them, the team that they build around them, win the game. And I'll land my plane.
Okay, yeah, I heard on the platform, Miss Jane and the rest of y'all, that the foreign leaders are not going to respect her because they don't let women do anything in different countries. How is she going to negotiate with them? Because first of all, they ain't going to even want to talk to her. And I said, well, they said that about Obama. They said that they weren't going to respect a black man, but they had to do what they had to do. And once she's in that position, she is the president. So they don't
That's
have to
right.
be.
She represents this country, not herself. And they cannot and will not disrespect her.
No, but that's not true because there's other women that have been and they had to speak to them.
Absolutely.
So I don't know where that's just the Republicans
Listen, they're
talking
talking about
nonsense. That's not true.
they're talking about women,
Yeah,
how they treat the women in their country. This is America. We don't treat our women in subservient manners where they have to walk behind the husband, all those old crazy things.
yeah,
We don't do that. And
right.
they do it in other countries. And how dare they even
But
try
it's not
to
true
treat
though.
her
It's
in that
not. They
manner?
know, but
They
it's
are
not
not
happening though.
crazy.
It's really not happening because there's too many female um first of all, there's a lot of female diplomats and ambassadors from other countries going to different foreign countries. You know, if not the president, if your president isn't, if just because our president hasn't been a woman, we've had several female ambassadors to different
Absolutely.
countries and
Absolutely.
different things like that that may have, even if they've had chauvinistic or they had to deal with someone kind of, they've been in the room with those people you know, and they've had to had a conversation with those people. So that I don't know, and you know, even if they're being rude to you, but those women know how to handle themselves. You know, they know how to handle themselves.
She's a
All
leader.
right,
There's
At
one.
the end of the day, she's a world leader, a country leader, and they will give her respect as they should.
Right.
okay, so Miss Charlotte, let's let Charles
Yes.
talk. Okay, Charles, what you want to say about her and her leadership as a
Well, number
woman?
one, she's already she had to step in once when President Biden was here, and so she's already had to step in and acted as president, whether it was that 1 or 2 days or not. They will still respect her, and I'm quite sure that when they come here, she won't have to have all of this drama. But if she goes there, I do believe that she would respect their customs the same way she would want them to respect her here in the United States.
Absolutely.
In my mind,
May I make a point here? It seems to
Sure.
me, it seems
But
to me that
let him finish.
Yes.
for the UnitheStates,
Okay, you still
I am
talking?
to come in.
Yeah, she was trying to come in. Were you finished?
No, go ahead. I can hold.
He said he can hold. Go ahead, John.
okay. I just wanted to make the point about respect when they're talking about the leaders of the world not respecting her because she's a woman. How are the leaders of the world going to respect a man who has been convicted of so many felonies, who has a record around the world for being just a pathological liar
And
and having very, very bad manners with regard to women and his sexual activity? I mean, when you talk about respect, I think probably there'd be more countries that would respect her for her competence than they would respect him with the litany of
Right.
problems that he brings with him. I think that in many countries that'd be very uncomfortable dealing with a man with this kind of moral character.
right. Agreed.
Agree with you.
There are 28 other countries. There's 28 countries that he's been banned, and it does. And some of it has to do with his harassment. It has to deal with that.
So Charles said he done been banned from 28 countries. Y'all hear that? That he's been banned
Oh,
from
okay.
28
Well, we ain't heard that. Why that ain't on the news?
My name ain't on the news, Charles.
One thing y'all need to know, and that is the 4 major networks, their presidents are supporting 45.
Y'all heard that?
Really?
Wait, say that again, please, sir.
He said the four major networks are supporting DT, President 45.
Why?
On the media, in the media. Okay, got it.
What?
I
Yeah,
don't understand.
What?
they supporting him.
Okay, which ones are those? You said 4 major. Those Fox and what else?
ABC, NBC, CBS, um, what was there was another one I don't have my notes here.
So did y'all hear? All of them.
Obviously,
we,
Fox.
we
You say Fox?
need to know which one they are. So maybe we'll turn the channel on them. We won't watch those channels no more.
Right.
The president of ABC, CBS, NBC, of course they got Fox. There's another one I can't name it, but MSNBC, they're totally independent. of that. But the president of those companies are supporting.
The presidents of the country, not so much as the stations themselves, but the presidents of those stations are supporting him.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The presidents
Well,
of those
well,
stations. Go ahead.
Mm.
Go ahead, Pastor.
well
I guess because they make so much money.
yeah, because they're gonna get tax breaks, so I guess that's why they wanna support DT, however y'all want to call it. But
I,
anyway,
I,
I look, I tell you what, I'll let those folks support DT, and I'll let God support us. How about that? Who you think gonna win? Who you think gonna win? Who you think gonna win?
That's who's supporting us. That's who's supporting us. God and
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See,
Right.
they didn't think those two Democrats were gonna win Georgia. See, you got
can
to
I
understand
ask?
we have decree power that we need to be able to use
Right.
as the body of Christ. We got decree power.
Can I ask Charles a question?
extra
Charles.
education.
So Charles, do you think here? This is my thinking on this, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is not a race about Democrat and Republic. I think this is more about the rich versus the lower income.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I do agree with that assessment. To a certain the Heritage Foundation has been around for 45 years. And I have a saying that patient. Understand what I'm saying? Evil is patient. And this Heritage Foundation has been patient all of these years. And it is, they want all rich to stay there.
Okay, what
And
I hear Charles saying that his saying is evil is patient. And so now people are saying, oh well, he didn't write the Project 25. The Heritage Foundation did that. And that's been wrote for 45 years. I guess it is, because that's when they was wanting to overturn when things was happening and things was turning around. They didn't want to see it turn around. So yeah, they wrote that up and they was waiting for the first foolish person to try to exercise it and try to bring it up. And whether he's gonna try to do it, whether he's gonna try to do it or not, that's another tactic he using, because he know that it's got a group of people that want him to do that. When he said make America great again,
Right.
he's saying that when I hear make America great again, the first thing I hear, you want separation again, you want segregation again, you want the people who the underprivileged people to stay underprivileged, and you want the rich people to have all the money, and then you want the people who were treated unfairly 45 years ago, 60 years ago, or however many years ago, you want it to go back to that. That's what I hear when you say make America great again. So when you come this time, you didn't have, that's played out, that make America great again. So you had to go over there and start
You have to see, you have to understand and add two things. When you had Reagan, that economic, that was the Heritage Foundation. The second thing is, when you are listening to everything that's happening, it is absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
right.
So one of the identifying factors that
It's good for everybody. The only thing it has been good for is YTT. Make America great again. It wasn't great for everybody. The Japanese, it wasn't great for them.
Right.
At one point, because they was in internment camp. Okay?
So yeah.
It wasn't great for them. So shoot that down when they say make it great again. Great by T.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying. They had to run on something extra this time. So when he first started running, everybody got the wind that he had started looking at Project 25. Now, I've heard y'all say that his name is mentioned 300 times. Is that in the writing of that? Um, Not the writing of it because it was wrote before him, but did he mention and start pulling things out of there 300 times when you say his name is attached to?
His name appears 322 times in Project 2025. His name appears 298 times in Agenda 47. He had 102 people of his cabinet that helped write Agenda 25. And J.D. Vance is one of them.
Right. That's what I wanted to ask. The when he tries to distance himself, in order for his name to appear that many times, they have had to have a discussion with him on an input from him on Project 2025 as well as Agenda 47.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, some people will ask us. Some people will ask us. Okay, when his name is attached to this, was it 45 years ago? Because he done read it one time, and so I've been hearing on the platform saying when you see him appointing those justices to overturn Roe versus Wade, that was also a part. Was that ever in Project 25 in the past? Is that
Yeah,
something?
the overtaking of Roe v. Wade was always in there, but
Yeah.
it was just. I mean, he specifically, when his name appears in it now, that's just like him getting
His seal
more,
of approval.
making it personalized and getting more exactly involved in it. So he put his name. That's why his name is in it
Right.
now. And then
So
he's trying to say he isn't connected to it, which is ridiculous.
that's why I
But
said
the ideas and some of the principles of it have been around for years.
Wanted
But they
his
put
name.
it.
Well, Charles is saying over here that he wanted his name on it, when they was making it and when it was in the making, he wanted. And so now,
just
from
like
what I
he did with
hear,
the checks. Just like with
it
the
seems
checks. He held them till he got his name on them.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
What I'm seeing here now is coming back to hunting, but as
All right.
y'all see, now he'll go back and distance itself. And then we heard some people on the panel the other day on Charles' panel, which was probably trolls, because I learned on another girl's best panel today that there are some people that's being paid, and the European always getting in our election, but I hear that it is alleged that somebody is paying them out of that camp to get on the live and go to talking about and upholding him and upholding his ways and to argue with us about he denied it. He denied it. They believe what come out of his mouth. They say he said that he's not associated with it. So they say, how can we keep throwing it up when he told us he's not associated with it? But
Well, how
they
can his
say that
name keep appearing if he didn't give him approval to put his name in it? That's
Yeah.
not making sense.
Yeah,
And
they
they
didn't
do
just put his
have to
name in
have,
there.
they do,
okay, hold up, Mr. Charles is talking. Go ahead, Mr. Charles.
I'm just saying, y'all know that he'll sue anybody if his name is used and he did not authorize it.
Y'all heard that? Mr. Charles said,
And he stopped. Okay, when
Mm-hmm.
American people found out
Yeah.
about him and Project 25, especially with the AB issue. That's when he started denying it.
Right.
Right.
Okay, okay. So, Miss Jane, have you read any of the 900 and some pages of Project 25?
I haven't read the whole document, but I've read a lot of excerpts about it. And
Okay,
what Trump wants is plausible deniability. He likes to have it in kind of in the middle, so that when he's talking to Republicans, then he can kind of claim, all the ideas that they like in there, that's him. And then he turns around, and when he's speaking to another part of the population that might be unhappy with that, then, oh, I don't know anything about those people. That's separate. So he, as he often does, he wants to have it both ways. He
Yeah.
wants to be given credit for those good, strong conservative ideas when he's talking to Republicans, and he wants to plead innocence when he's talking to the rest of the world. He does that all the time.
uh,
And guess
I
who
know.
never reads it? The MAGA people.
Yeah.
Now,
I
okay.
can't tell
Now,
you how many lives I've been on, and the MAGA people act like they act like you're speaking I don't know, some alien language. They're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, wait a minute, how can you support this man and you don't even know about this thing? And they just go by what he says. He says he didn't have nothing to do with it. Okay, so but I mean, why don't you read it for yourself though? Just to take just by chance,
okay. So,
just read it yourself.
for people out there that don't know, like me myself, I've been in these conversations. But what is MEGA? What is MAGA?
Make America
Make
great again.
America great again.
Oh, so I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. They keep saying MAGA, MAGA. So today on a live, they asked the question, do you think it's a cult?
Oh
Yeah.
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 They're
certainly
ready to
brainwashed.
unalive themselves for that.
That's just the acronym of Make America Great Again, MAGA.
They're ready
Mm-hmm.
to go to
No,
battle for someone that wouldn't even shake their hand if he was in
But
their
it is
presence.
a cult. It definitely is a cult because it has all the markers. If you were to ask a professional, I mean, they have people that study this, that study and can tell you that's their profession. They know what a cult, because there are people that are really in cults. And when if you've really been in a cult, it's a psychological, becomes a psychological disorder, and you can't just walk out of it. You have to go and see a special therapist to get yourself, unconditioned to what they've done to you. You know what I mean?
well,
So
that's what
it's
they acted like on January the 6th. Okay, so Pastor Johnson, what's your thought on, well, tell me this, Pastor Johnson. Okay, I know a lot of these ladies, I don't follow politics like you all do, but I take everybody's word for it. I'm going to do better, as Mr. Charles told me to do. So, but I'm good. If y'all tell it to me, it's in there. I believe it's in there. And I'm
mhm.
going to go ahead on and accept it. So I don't have to do all that reading. I'm going to accept it. But
All you do, baby, read for yourself.
I know,
You
Mr.
gotta
Chuck.
know.
I
They
know,
have a
Mr.
bullet point one. They have a bullet point one you can pull up on the website that kind of just gives you the list of all the stuff that's in it. You don't have to go read a detailed one. And his 47 was always like the abridged version of it was basically what's in the long form of the 2025, but kind of shortened a little bit, slightly different, but it's basically it's basically the same stuff, but it's a little
Okay, well,
shorter.
Pastor Johnson, you
Uh-huh.
knew about Project 25 as well. Did you read any of it? Do
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I've
yeah. My
skimmed
my my
over
my
a
niece
little
my
bit
niece
of
had
it.
familiarized me with it. She had gave me gave me some information on it. Yeah, so I'm a little bit familiar with it.
But however, Pastor Johnson, with that Project 25, you still, because I know, like I said, you're not really fearful, because I know you're a man of the cloth, and you know that, even if we have a few hard times, God gonna always see us through, and we're accustomed to suffering. All of us ain't lived up in the big house, so some of us done ate, some people done ate out of cans, some people done did without. So a lot of, and that's the scary part about us as black people and these young people out here who not registering to vote and not voting, they already know hard times, so they not that leery of what could happen in Project 25, because they feel that we're still already the underdog, we're still already underprivileged, and we always have been, and they feel like we always will be, and they figure that no matter who goes in office, they ain't gonna do us right. They feel like Kamala already done made it because she made it that high. She's taken care of. So that's the hard thing about this election, and getting those type of people and those people out to vote and let them know that even though they think they've seen hard times, but if something happens, he's able to conjure up and try to start to do it and that stuff. And I believe like this, even if he don't do it all at once, just we don't want him to go in there and even get none of it started for the next person to come in to carry it on out. So that's what people have to look at. They have to look at the long picture. They have to look at the fact that any little thing they sign, just like the Roe versus Wade, different stuff like that, any little thing that they sign is a beginning of sorrow. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So that's what we have to really get the people to understand, that any part of it, anything that he would do. But what I can't get past, and what a lot of people can't get past, is that these people still support him, and even some of the colored people still support him. And he acts like a 5 year old. He acts like a small brat. He's not qualified for the job, wasn't qualified for the job the first time. Then they turn around and talk about his business skills. How you got good business skills if you allegedly filed bankrupt 7 times, and all
You
you
know what?
did was
That's not alleged. He did.
Yeah,
well,
he did.
It's a fact.
sue me about me. So I'm
You
saying
know, it,
allegedly because I don't want to say something wrong. Go ahead
He
and say
did,
yeah,
Bob.
yeah. I mean,
Charles is saying
I'm
something.
listening to everything that you're saying and everything. You know,
Charles is saying something.
and
Come on.
all the issues that you bring it to bear. You know, but one thing we can't never forget about: the power of prayer. The power of prayer. See, anytime we get in trouble, we know we need God. We can't leave. We can never leave God out of when we are in trouble. Are
Okay,
y'all
I
hearing
heard
me?
you.
Yeah, I hear
You
you.
know,
That's
we gonna have to vote now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're not gonna have to. We gonna have to do our part, and we gonna have to overturn every rock that we can, and try to get everyone that we can get to vote. But we cannot forget that God is a mighty God, and God knows what they're planning to do, and God is not going to let us go back go back to the old way it was. No, 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 no. I fail to believe that. Not the God that I serve.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
right.
Right.
So
No,
that
praise
means
him.
he's gonna put hard for these people to vote. Yeah, that's why I wanted Charles on the stage too, but I know that we can hear him if he was on the phone, because he keep trying to talk and y'all keep talking, and I'm sure the people that's listening to us is like, whoa, they just going on and on. They getting too upset, they getting too nervous, and then we got the people listening that was listening on TikTok. But okay, y'all, Pastor said that. So Charles, what were you saying?
I was saying, how can they say he got good business sense when he bankrupt a couple of casinos? You tell me it is hard to bankrupt a casino. The house always lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That that doesn't make good sense. If you listen to him talk, he contradicts himself
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
up and down and everywhere else.
well, what I see That- okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. Go ahead.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Well, what I've seen from what I've been told about bankruptcy, especially when the rich people do it, because a lot of poor people do it, but they say poor people really ain't got no business doing it because they ain't got nothing. But when rich people bankrupt, from what I understand, when they bankrupt, they get off scot free. They keep everything they already got, everything they own, and they keep all the extra money they got somewhere hid, and then they just go back and get some more. According to what y'all saying, if it is alleged that he bankrupt at least 7 times, so every 7 years or every 10 years, when he feel like he don't want to pay his debt. And he want to keep all the money that he done got from people and this that, and the other whenever he do that, he just decided to declare bankruptcy and just keep
Mm-hmm.
on running with all the money he got and get some more money and get more riches. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mr. John.
It's very easily done.
Yeah.
Even us poor people can do it.
Yeah.
It's called fifty. You can
Chapter
give
11.
up to a certain amount, and there's
Yeah.
no taxes on it. And that's a little bit of an insurance piece of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a licensed agent, but you can gift money to other people up to a certain amount, and you do not have to pay that tax on that money.
Okay.
And you don't have to report it.
Okay.
But yeah, it is there.
Well, we got someone in the comments over there on TikTok talk about they don't agree. But you know what? At this point, we don't care whether you agree or not. We know the truth, and we got this platform, baby girl, or baby boy, or whoever you is. You said that's not how it goes. I don't know how it goes, but we talking about 45 and
Ask what? How
It
what
is how
goes?
it goes. Yeah. It is how it goes.
type out what goes. We don't need you on the platform, but you can type it. He said it don't matter about your platform. I just said my opinion. I don't care. Well, I do care, and like I said, you said it ain't how it goes. They want to know because I don't care what you're talking about, but they want to know what you mean. That ain't how what go. What part of our conversation you said that ain't how it go? Go ahead on help them out, and I'll read it and tell them. But I'm telling you right now, Kamala Harris is going to be the next president of the United States of America. And
I agree. I agree.
and that crook will not be the next president of the United States of America. Now, whether he gonna get locked up, I don't care. He don't have to get locked up, as long as he don't get put back in the White House, and he will not get put back in the White House. Okay, so you take that to the bank, and when you see Kamala Harris announce the president of the United States, then you
Come
come
on.
back and talk to me.
Come on. Say
But
that. Say
anyway,
that. Say that. Talk it. Talk it.
then
Talk
you
it.
come back and talk to me. He will not go back in the White House,
I know
and
that's
we got
right.
he
Speak it
bankrupt
into
too
existence. Speak it into existence.
he bankrupt too many times, and then he just ignorant anyway. Period. Period.
Yeah.
You saw, and he the one talked to them people, had them people come up to. I went to the march. I went to the 57th march. We didn't have no peace. We didn't have no
Can I?
peace like this. You can go down to no capital and then go and try to tear up no capital. Nah, we ain't gonna try to tear up no capital. But when his folks came up there to do whatever they went up there talking about, he didn't lose. How ignorant can you be? Okay, this is what he
Can I?
wants y'all to do. He said the people are so little informed, it's sad, but God will hunt him. And then he said something about, yeah, go ahead with your prophecy. I get it. I understand. Baby, it ain't even about no prophecy. It shall be done. Go and read that good book that I know about and see how God operates, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm sure you like that person that got on my live this morning talking about God is a made up name and stuff. Baby, go rest, miss me with that because we know who we are and we know who we serve. And we know how divine
Can
he is.
I'd like to
But
say
anyway,
this. Can I say this? In the time of the need of this country, Donald Trump cannot show me how to go in my kitchen and make a meal out of nothing, with which a lot of us had to do that, right? He cannot show me how to build generational wealth or take care of my children, because he's never experienced any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala, on the other hand, has experienced going to college with what do you call it, Pell Grant loans, and
Mm-hmm.
working for McDonald's. She
Mm-hmm.
understands the plight of the average American. This man is Richie Rich in life form, who, if there's not a cook in the kitchen, could not make him a sandwich. If there's not a housemaid in the house, could not figure out how to run a vacuum.
Come on.
So me personally, I'm looking for someone who understands my reality.
Right.
And Harris.
Well, I'll tell you this, Miss Smith, Mr. Smith, whoever you are, whatever you are, I'll tell you this. You might say our vote don't count, but watch us flip all blue. Ha! Watch that.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I like that. I like that. I like that. Talking it.
Flip to make
Say it.
sure
Say it.
he go into that office. We couldn't. Our vote didn't count for Obama, but he became the president, didn't he?
Come on. Come on. God
Help me.
did it then. God
But
did it then. He'll do it again.
he did it once, he'll do it again. And what you don't understand, you don't understand divine providence. She will be the next president of the United States of
Come
America.
on. Not might be. Will.
Yes.
She will be able to go back to Shirley Chisholm's grave and say, we did it.
Yes.
You watch and see. We're going to be back on TikTok, or we're going to have a party. We're going to have some parties. We're going to have some parties. But anyway, y'all, we need to get to Project 25. So, what is something that stands out to you, Miss Jane, in Project 25, just in case they were to decide to try to make something operate? And tell me, how can he get it past the Senate and the legislature? And how could he get it past them? Something that stands out in there. Or how can he get it rolling? Because he probably won't be able to get it passed within 4 years. But how could he even possibly get it rolling? Miss Jane first.
Well, that's why it's so important that we pay attention to those seats in the House and the Senate, because it's very important. Donald Trump by himself, if he had a Congress that was not in his pocket, he isn't going to be able to do a whole lot of anything. But if he gets a strong Republican majority in the House and the Senate, then we've got trouble, because then as fast as he thinks it, they will pass it. So,
okay, but what is one of the things that you think is likely that the Republicans would try to do that's up in Project 25?
Oh, there's a lot of things, and they've really been very clear about it. Of course, they consider money spent on any kind of a social safety net to be wasted money, because it's not going to them. So they would try to trim back, or I don't think they would eliminate, but they would certainly trim back on all the things that we count on, Social Security, Medicare. They would certainly try to go after women's rights. That they would have a really hard time if they tried to ban contraceptives. I think that would be maybe a bridge too far, but I think they would try it.
Okay. Pastor Johnson, what do you think in Project 25 that they might possibly try to get to working and get passed to start to get in motion?
Well, the fact he has said that they wouldn't have to vote no more for public office or presidency. I mean, that's something that's really scary. No matter what party you belong to or what color you are.
Okay, so I hear people say that, and they say that means he want to be a dictator. But
Right.
how can he get that bill? How can he get a bill like that passed in Congress? Do you think that? Okay, wait a minute, Mr. Charles.
There is no Congress.
Okay, no,
Right.
no, no, Mr. Charles, hold up. Right now there is a Congress. So if he get in, how would he get a bill passed that said people won't have to vote anymore? How would he put something in place? I'm asking Brother Johnson, how could he get that put in place? Well, I'm saying he would have to get that put in place before that can go in effect. So, how many Congress people or how many Senate or legislatures you think would go along with that? Well, that's why Ms. James said we have to make sure we vote the right people in all these other positions. Because if we don't vote the right people in those positions, yeah, he might can get something like that able to be paid. But brother Pastor Johnson, hold on. Let me let Mr. Charles talk. Mr. Charles, I want to know how would he even? I know you said it won't be no criminal, but that's once he get it there. But how can he even get it there the first time? Do you think those people in Congress would actually go along with that? Because you got Democrats and you got Republicans. Do you think that in this day and time,
Now,
Yeah,
remember
number 'em.
Project 47. He says he's going to do away with, if once he's elected as president, he's going to do away the FBI, the CIA. He's going to do away with all law enforcement.
Yeah.
All of them are going to be put underneath him. That's the first thing a dictator does.
can he do that without a vote? Can he do that
Yes.
without a vote?
Yes.
He,
If he gets a majority, he can.
He can.
It all
Yes.
comes down to a majority. If he can get 51%, he can do whatever he pleases. And
Mhm.
it's really close.
putting these
Yep.
things in now. And it's not just him. It's that Heritage Foundation. They're also putting these things. What you think Roe v. Wade is? Taking away your right to vote. That's two. Okay? He said, vote this time, you don't have to vote again because a dictatorship, everything is going to come underneath him.
Okay, well, I heard the panel say the reason he can do it is if he get that 51 vote. But I'm asking y'all, do y'all think it's got 51% of those people that would want that to happen in our country? That's what I'm asking you all.
Charles just explained to you, baby. Listen to what he just explained. Trump gets in office. He does not need anybody to vote anything. He will start dictating. He will take away the FBI. He will take away Congress. Any of those people who says anything to them, he can unalive them. He doesn't need, after he gets in office, Agenda 47 opens a door for him to just do what I said do or else.
Okay,
That is what Agenda 47 is all about. That's what it is.
okay.
I go around.
I'm not hearing what you all saying, but the only thing I'm saying, I'm not hearing what you're saying. I'm hearing what you're saying, but at the same time, I just heard the others on the panel say that he cannot be a dictator with if he got a Congress already. He has to
He's
have.
gonna eliminate them. He'll assassinate them. He'll assassinate them. He's put people in place to do what he wants. They'll overrun the government. They already tried with January 6th. Once he gets in office, he's already taken applications for loyalists to do what he said do. Not question, not challenge, but do what he said do. And so once he gets in office, he can, as the president, he can wipe out all of those people. He can,
Okay.
there's no more jobs. You're not needed.
Remember, the Supreme Court has said he cannot be held accountable as president of the United States
For doing his job.
Without any recourse.
Okay.
That's what the advantage means.
Okay.
That's why you gotta pay attention to what's being said.
No. I'm paying attention to everything you all are saying. I am. But at the same time, it's always two sides because you still got to convince these people who don't believe that. You got to still let them know that, you got to still convince them because they're looking at the fact that going back to democracy, as we call it, which we know he don't care nothing about democracy. I got you on that. I understand that. But Miss Jane, I heard you say something about 51%. So I hear what Miss Charlotte's saying. Miss Charlotte is saying that he's ruthless, he's heartless, and that she believes that he's taking applications right now for people
It's
to.
no belief, baby. He has. The Heritage Foundation has helped him get applications. There's solicitation in different news outlets. He's talking about wiping out the federal government and replacing them with loyalists. It's no, he's already, the train have left the station. And if he gets in office, he's going to pull up and unload.
Okay.
It's already planned.
I think
Government workers, 400,000. He's already said, I'm going to replace them with those who are loyal to me.
Okay, so we're gonna stop. I hear what y'all saying. So Miss Jane, what you about to say?
Yeah, we need to make a distinction between the Congress and the administration.
Right.
The Congress is elected by the people.
Right.
And right now it is very close to half and half. It makes a great deal of difference whether he has one more than half or one less than half. But every 2 years we get an opportunity to re-elect or not the House of Representatives. The Senate goes on the 6-year cycle, but the House, every 2 years, the House is up for election. And those are the people that can pass the laws. Those are the people that can make the law of the land, as opposed to the administration. People like the Department of Transportation, the Department of Justice, the IRS, all those. Those are employees rather than elected officials, and he can appoint those. And those are the people that he says he's just going to clean house, and he's going to fill those positions. The entire administration, not the Congress, but the administration, the appointed people. He's going to fill those positions with loyalists. The Congress, the people still have a vote on. I don't think there's any way he can eliminate the Congress. And the Senate, thank goodness, has longer terms. And the Senate, I think, is our best hope. But the House of Representatives, every 2 years, they have to go back to the people. And that's on the ballot this year, just like it is every other year.
Who's those 2,000 people that he's going to terminate their positions and replace it? Those are our congressmen, our elected officials. He's
No,
okay.
he can't replace the Congress. He has no power over who sits in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Those are elected officials. But he has control as a president over his administration, over the jobs. The difference between an elected position and a job. The administration is full of people who have a job. They are hired. And the president gets to control who those people are.
A dictator don't have elected officials. He has appointed.
About right now. Stop a minute. We're not talking about when he become a big dictator. We talk about right now.
You asked a question. How would you do it? And I thought that's what we were answering. But okay.
No. I'm saying right now. He went in office right now. The only thing I'm hearing Miss Jane say he can do is fire all the people in his administration. Is that what you say, Miss Jane? But he still can't do nothing with those people who gonna make that vote to make him a dictator.
Okay.
That's the only thing he's saying. He can kill. He can. Now I understand what you're saying. You don't trust him. You believe that he will hire people to assassinate whoever gets in his way.
I didn't
So I
say
get that.
assassinate anybody. I didn't say assassinate anybody. But okay,
Well,
so
poo poo,
he can't do it. He can't do it. Okay.
you know. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I'm just saying he can't get rid of just everybody just like that. That's all I was saying.
Not the
But
Congress. He can't get rid of the Congress. He can get rid of the administration. He can
I
clean
wonder,
that up.
you know what's a good question I would really love to hear? How did Putin take over his country
Well,
and get all of those elected officials and everybody to do what he wanted them to do?
they didn't have a history of democracy. He was kind of starting with a different starting place. We're starting
Yeah,
with
but he got a whole lot of people to agree with him, and 25 years later, he's still in position, right?
yeah,
So he got a lot of people to agree with him, and they became very wealthy, that small elite group.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, they're playing with democracy. It's not a real democracy. They have elections, and everybody votes for him. You know, it's not really an election. It's a mock
okay, Miss James was saying that they started off different, but Mr. Charles said, like Miss Charlotte said, that he had people knocked off. But from what Miss Jane is saying, they still was not with any type of democracy. And by us having some type of democracy, he can do a lot. But he can't just take that dictatorship like talking about it. But we know that he wants to, and we know that that is his mindset, and that's what he may be saying. But he can't just take it just like
Okay.
talking about it. That's the
Okay.
only thing he's saying about that.
Yeah.
But because
He can't do it.
we don't trust him, and we know he would try his
He
best
can
to
do it.
do
Trust me, he can do it. He can take it. He can do it. And Congress, those people that have been elected will not be able to say one thing.
it. So, what's your take on it, Pastor Johnson?
Well, like I say, uh, I always believe in understanding, our responsibility that we have. We don't want to. I know we want to, have a what if and stuff like that. But if you're gonna trust God, there's only way you're gonna do it. Faith, and nothing else.
Right.
How's he running for president with all them felons? We never thought we'd end up in this, but guess what? He could possibly very well become a president with all them felons.
Right. I mean that's so we talked about democracy, but we see, how could that happen when there are certain limits that felons can't privilege they can't have.
Right. You can't vote for him, but he could run to govern you.
Yeah, I mean
So
that just don't make sense. I mean, but like you say,
But
we
see,
talk.
and see, that's the point that I understand where Sister Charlotte and Brother Charles is coming from. They are coming from the fact that, we saying, of course, yeah, we trust God, and of course, yeah, we're gonna do our part and vote, but don't never underestimate him. Is all. I understand what she's saying. We cannot underestimate what they would allow him to do because they letting
Right,
him get away with
right,
everything
right,
else.
right, right. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm with that. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say he can't. Years ago I would have said as a felon he can't run for president.
that's what I
Oh,
would think too. That's what I would think too.
so I'm not underestimating nothing he says he wants to do.
Wait a minute, but Mr. Charles, hold up, Miss Charlotte. But has it always been like that? Now you can't vote. Has it always been that you couldn't vote as a felon? But it's always been,
Absolutely. You
and
lose you absolutely.
it's always been that you
Absolutely.
couldn't be the president.
Huh?
Has it always been that way?
And I'm 71, baby. As long as I can remember, it's been that way.
Okay, so
If
they
you
didn't do
go to prison for a felony, you lose your right. I
we
don't
hear
know.
you.
I don't know if it's changed. I don't know. But as long as I can remember, I can research it and find out. when did that become law? But as long as I remember, you couldn't.
Oh, so
I
you
think
could. You
I
used to
think
could. So you used to couldn't, you said, Miss Charlotte?
As long as I remember, from my knowledge and experience, if you had a felony, you could not vote.
Well, I know that, but
You can't vote.
but
I
could you
don't
run
know.
for president?
Run for president. You can
But
still use any political office
Okay, so he said,
as a felon.
but you can't do it while you is a felon, huh?
he's
While you
doing
are.
it. He has 30 something felonies.
Can.
He's running for
Okay.
office.
Yeah, you're
Can.
not
Well,
supposed to. You're not supposed to be able to run for a public office if you've been a felon.
But he's running.
no,
I know. That's what I'm
So
saying. But
yeah.
yeah,
So
but
we're saying what he can do, he's
Listen,
doing it.
you can.
hey, y'all, stop. Charles said you always could run. You always could run as a felon. But what we don't understand about that, Charles, how could you always run for a public office as a felon, but you can't vote as a felon?
I think that the basis for the requirements for president are in the Constitution, and there are very, very few. You have to be, I think, 35 years of age and a natural born citizen. But I don't think it says much of anything else as far
Right.
as qualifications. If we want to elect an idiot, if we want to elect a
Like
person,
we're doing
you
now.
know, a clown, it doesn't matter. We have the right to elect anybody we want that's at least 35 years old and is a natural born citizen.
Natural born citizen.
Now, as far as voting goes, it really is very hypocritical that you can't vote, but you can be president. I mean,
Right.
that's just, but the rules come from a different place. We
Right.
have
Okay,
very tight rules about voting, but
Mr. Johnson said, but it goes different in different states too. He said. He said
right.
in
Yeah,
different.
yeah. It does different in different states. Right.
Yeah, it's different. But for the most part,
Listen to me.
you
No, stop, y'all. Listen to what he's saying.
If they want to allow you to vote in that state, they can. We're talking about federal level for the qualification of a president. And the qualifications are you have to be at least 35, a U.S. citizen, natural U.S. citizen.
natural born. Yeah.
that's it. Nothing stops him from running.
That
But
is it.
then
And he can't vote in Florida unless the governor pardons him to vote. Yeah, he can.
So they say those qualifications, like Miss Jane said and Mr. Charles said, you only have about 2 or 3 qualifications to run for president, and they don't have unqualification like saying you can't be a felon. But I think in certain other positions in these cities, like different things, you can't be a felon and run for some of them things.
Yeah,
right.
that's different. That's different because the presidency, it's in the Constitution. The qualifications of the president.
I don't think our forefathers thought we'd ever be in the predicament of having a felon running for president.
Folks, I'm going to have to leave.
Well, look, Sister Charlotte, I tell you what, that needs to be one of the first things that everybody write into Kamala and tell her to get her cabinet and get all those folks to
I don't
change.
think she can change that. That's the Constitution. I don't think that can be changed. Amendments.
Wait, hold up. Then y'all said Trump was going to try to change the Constitution if he get in office?
I don't know about that. I didn't say that. I don't know about that.
I'm going to have to leave.
Well, we all going to be leaving with you, Miss James. Well, no, we need to talk about some more of the stuff in Project 25. Okay, thank you, Miss James, for coming. We appreciate you.
Okay, God bless you all.
Nice
Okay.
meeting you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
So, Elder Johnson, anything else you wanted to say to the people while Miss Charlotte and Mr. Charles is on here?
No, I'm just gonna listen to all the rest of the comments. I'm just gonna listen to the rest of the comments.
Okay. Well, Charles, you could have came on. Are you parked yet? Or are you still riding?
I'm having difficulty hearing right now.
Okay. So, can you hear now? Okay, wait a minute. Uh,
I was just having difficulty hearing.
so do you hear us now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
You hear me good?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I hear you
I was
fine.
hearing the echo. That's how I was trying to understand. I was hearing the echo.
Des, I need you to get on the stage. I sent you the link, ma'am. I need you to get on the stage because Mr. Charles wants to meet you. And Miss Charlotte want to meet you too. So get on the stage, ma'am. Okay? Get on the stage. I sent you the link. So come on up in here. It's that second link I sent you that we was going to be talking about the presidential election, but you can also talk to Mr. Charles for a minute. But anyway,
Just made it to my, just so you know, I just made it to my hotel.
oh, okay. Well, get on in there so you can talk to Des. We could talk about you in the presidential election. Cause we got my pastor. He's still hanging in here. He enjoying this because he don't want Trump to go in that office.
But tell him, let him know my travel from state to state, talking about Agenda 47 and 2025. I travel and I tell people about it. I teach them about it.
Right. There's I sent you the second link, and it talks about you are invited to come and talk about the presidential election. I might have to go out and send it to you again, but it should be up in your text message. So
And TikTok,
anyway,
sending it through TikTok.
you sending it
That's
to
why I
Dan?
couldn't find it because people don't send me messages there, and it was on TikTok.
Oh, but I had also sent it to you on the other one too, honey bun. I
No,
did.
it was just okay. It was. I found it on TikTok. I didn't see it in my messengers at all.
Okay. Okay.
Now you know, though.
Oh, Jesus. I done called people up here that I wasn't supposed to be calling up here. I'm sorry, y'all. I wasn't supposed to be putting y'all up here. I was not supposed to be putting some people up here. You know how on TikTok, people be down there and you think you invite one person and you invited another person. But I'm sorry, Taylor and baby. We wasn't trying to invite you all up there. We were having the discussion and we weren't trying to talk to everybody about it. We only had certain people we were trying to talk to about it. So anyway, we're gonna decline. We don't want to talk to all these people. Girl, I do something on here and they laughing at me too. They laughing at me. Sister Charlotte, if I done hit all these people up here, how I get these people off of here?
I don't know what you want. They on your Facebook or they on this page?
They on my TikTok.
On your sorry, TikTok. You go to each one of them, click on them, and drop. Just ask them to drop. Click on their picture, and then let me go and help you. Hold on.
Hit disconnect.
Go to that pictures and hit disconnect.
Okay.
And it says connected by host.
Okay, I don't see no disconnect, but anyway, I ain't gonna worry
Disconnect.
about it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I
figure out
can't
who it
do this. Yeah. So just you go to their page and hit disconnect.
Okay, go to their page and hit disconnect.
Go to they're in your boxes. Go to each box, tap on the person, and it should say disconnect in the right corner. So disconnect it or ask them to please drop.
Okay. They ain't saying nothing, but anyway. But hopefully, Dez is going to come on here,
Just
and
let them sit there and mute them. Just make sure they're all muted. They can't say nothing if they're muted.
yeah, some of them are gone, but we still have one up here. So anyway, but hopefully, and I see you, Sister Charlotte. You see the person that's up there?
Of where?
Okay,
I'm on. Huh?
okay, he gone now. But Dez, shoot, Dez says she don't have the link. All right, Sister Charlotte, you and Pastor Johnson talk right quick while I try to send her the link right quick, okay? And I'm gonna try to
Oh,
send Charles the link too, and see can he come back up here with us, okay?
okay.
All right.
So who's here? I'm talking to.
Pastor Johnson,
Hi, Pastor. How are you?
I'm doing just great.
Good. Yeah. So this has been a fascinating couple of years here for running for office, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
It's been scary. You know, people are saying what they can't do and they can do and all this stuff, but it's like, y'all, he doing it. What you
Right,
talking about?
right, right,
You know,
right,
I
right.
never thought we would be in a position of this in a position like this where we have a felon. I don't think the forefathers thought it. We'd have a felon running the country. I don't think they had felonies back then.
No, I doubted they had it to it, but like I said, they just never thought. Well, see, thought anything like this would ever come about in our day. But even just like you think about it, you know, what about minimum standards?
Well, that's the problem. America has lowered their
What,
standards and expectations
what, what,
of
what,
our
what
representation. We used to be one of the greatest represented and well thought out thought about country. But now we're in the toilet.
right. And that's really it's really sad, for that to be the case. But I mean, it is what it is because you know that should have been some integrity, some truth
Right.
should matter.
That's
You
the
know,
problem.
and
Yeah. And
if you raise your hand, okay, just if it's now I know some people swear on a stack of Bible and be telling lies at the same time. So I'm not
their
I
fingers
know that.
crossed with the behind their back.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. But what I'm saying is, it just seems like you know, truth and honesty doesn't have any type of value anymore. Just, I mean,
Right.
because
It's
I can remember.
almost
Look,
as if you do illegal things or immoral things, you almost get compensated and celebrated about it. We
yeah,
have
because I can
our standards have totally
plummeted.
lowered.
Right, plummeted, but that Lord plummeted.
Right.
Because I could
I
look.
agree with you, sir. I totally agree.
Because I could remember, one time my daddy did a handshake deal with a guy to buy some land way back off
Right.
in the late '60s. I mean,
Right.
so what happened to that's those? I mean, those simple principles.
Standard
Yeah,
integrity.
yeah, yeah.
My dad too, he had a Jewish business partner, and he wanted to buy a house for us in an area. We owned some apartments, but he wanted to buy a house for us in an affluent community, and
Okay.
he had to get his partner to go buy the house
Go ahead.
and quick deed it to us.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And so, but that was a handshake.
Right,
That was
right,
a
right.
handshake agreement. There was nothing written in paper. And the deed said our house should never be sold to Negroes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
But I just think our country is in a spiral. But when I see Vice President Harris, I get very hopeful.
Right,
I
right,
get very excited and anxious because she walks with integrity. She
right,
walks
right,
with dignity,
right.
morals, and standard. I believe she's going to represent us well.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that because when you like I say when we talk about you know what people stand for, uh so, like some it should be where this country, like I was telling one of my buddies, that every state every state has God has provided resources, natural resources for every state, for to take care of all of its citizens of that state,
Yeah.
whether it's tobacco, sugar cane, cotton, whatever it is. But because of the people that's in control, they're able to minimize the flow of those resources.
Well, like I said again, sir, it's not a war. This is not an election banked on you are a Republican and I am a Democrat. It
Right,
is a election banked on you have no money and I have it all.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
And what little you have, it is my intent to relieve you of it and put it in my pocket.
Right. And when you said that, I don't know whether you've been paying attention to the cereal boxes,
Yep.
the bag of chip boxes. You got more air than you got chips in
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's not a
See right there. Oh, that
it's
burns
where
up.
she said she was going to. There are 10 major corporations that pretty much dictate and own a lot of that. She's going to break them down. Those conglomerates, those big corporations that owns pretty much you're gonna have to pay for some air in a minute. But they
I
own
heard that. I heard
everything.
that. I heard that.
Yeah. So she
Okay.
said she would break those down.
Well, we have Miss Dez here from Florida, Miami. Dez, put yourself on this camera, woman. Are you there?
Hey, good evening, everybody, or good night, should I say? How y'all doing?
Doing just great.
Hey,
Doing just
good.
great.
How are you? You're from
I
where?
am well. I am well. I am from Miami, Florida.
Oh, you're the DJ. Is she the DJ?
Yes. The radio personality. I don't really
Well,
DJ.
I'm sorry. That was the old folks
That's the
coming out
old
and
folks,
saying
yeah.
DJ.
That old school term.
But no, she ain't no DJ, Miss Shook. She's a radio personality, just like she said, because she do a lot of major stuff at the station, like
Charlie,
marketing, selling, interviewing, setting up interviews, and she do all of that stuff. She don't really play no music or nothing. And
I
then
know.
her,
I think she understood. My mind was where she was, but the old folk came out in me, and that's
Right.
what she used to holler. So she understood.
Charlie, you say you 71?
Yes.
You
I'm.
don't look it.
You sure don't.
she just
Thank you.
turned last Sunday or the Sunday before last. One of
Yeah, I
them.
was in Miami when
Yeah,
I
that's
turned
right. Happy
71.
birthday. I
Okay,
I was just
remember.
okay.
trying to get with you, but it was like
It
fast
was
paced.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And we ended up going to a very nice crab place, the bag with the crab and shrimp and so we did that. I had a great time, but most importantly, I was proud to be there to help Charles with his campaign. So
Beautiful.
yeah. And I think he's been trying to call you.
Charles was telling me the area that he was in. I told him to try to come back on the video. He been trying to talk to me from a conference call, but I
He's
chose.
in Hialeah, Doral, and Miami Beach.
Oh, okay.
District 39. That's his area.
Oh,
And
okay, good.
he needs representation. He's running against a gentleman named Brian Avalera, I think it is. And don't quote me on that, but Brian is uncontested, and he inherited that position from being a commissioner, and so he is a Republican, and so Charles is stirring up the pot, but he has to get known. He needs to get out there more and visible and stuff. So I think they tried to call you from his campaign office, but they kept I guess you guys are missing each other, but he needs to get some help.
Okay, you know what? Send me
Huh?
I will text you. I think I still have your number. I will text you and just send me the number from the campaign.
I will. I'll send you Charles's personal number, and then the communications director her personal number.
Okay,
And then
perfect.
because he's there now in Miami. He's a little bit outside of Durrell, doing some campaign stuff. So he's there. Hopefully, you guys have an opportunity
To meet up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did tell Charles earlier when he was on that maybe because I know he's mostly spending his own money, but they are asking for people to donate. But I know I know the time on your station is a fee. But if he's in the area, it'll be worth it. So he wants to really get with you and see what kind of deals y'all do have. And I told him I know if he buy the commercial time at the station, I'm sure you and your brother, when he's thinking about it, he do a hotel for people who come and campaign for him. I told him I had wanted to come down there to your event, and that if he was able to do the hotel, I would campaign at your event. But I know he would have to probably buy time in order to have that opportunity on the radio. And then I told him y'all may even let him come to the event and introduce himself. So you really need to get with him so y'all can see how y'all can work it out.
It would be a blessing if you gave him 10 minutes to get up there. I think the climate is right. The timing is right. This is gonna cause a problem. So they're not giving up a lot, but he's determined to make a difference in Florida. So even if he had an opportunity to speak for a few minutes, hey, I'm Charles, I'm running this in this district, I think your event is going to be in his area.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk off the air, and I can give you some information, and I'll take your number and everything, and see how best I can help you out. But it sounds good.
Good, thank you.
Definitely.
That the event is an open door event, and there's probably going to be a lot of people there that we can reach. But now he did tell us that most of the people that are in his areas that he's running, they mostly speak Spanish and stuff like that. Some of them speak English.
Right. So in that area, in the Hialeah area, it's mostly Hispanics.
Right.
Doral, it's mostly whites and Hispanics.
Right.
White tea, because I'm on.
And on the beach, Miami Beach, that's the whole,
Whole nother story.
That's a whole nother dog.
But you know what, Princess, what I like about Charles is when he's talking about the Agenda 2025 and the Project 47. Did I say that right? Yeah. What I like about is when he takes time on his own platform and he goes over those each one of those items, their numbers, give you the pages, we talk about it, discuss it, and it's making more sense every time I visit his platform and go get a little more information. It makes more sense.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's needed. And I spoke to Renee about it before because especially Project 2025, it's so big and it's so much. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's like 900 and something plus pages to it.
Yeah.
But it's there to divide. It's there to take us back.
It's a manifesto of what they're gonna do. The 47 pretty much mirrors Project 2025. Agenda 47 mirrors 2025 because it became so unpopular and Donald Trump started talking about it before they could get it in place.
Right.
They had to distance themselves, and that was coming up with 47, but technically they're the same thing. They're the same items.
Okay. Hoping Mr. come back on because we got a few more minutes. We got about 10 or 12 more minutes, and I would love for him to have come back on and went over a few of the pages. But I know he's trying to check into the hotel
Right.
and undo his luggage and stuff because he had to stop and try to talk to us because he was traveling down there and it had a bad accident and he got caught up in traffic because he meant to.
What I can do, Princess, is I can give your viewers some reference information they could look at. So, like on page 319, it talks about how they're planning to dismantle the education system,
Right.
and use the Christian nationalist values. On page 545, that's where they're going to mess with our civil rights for Black and white women, taking away our rights to vote, that not being able to divorce your husband no matter what, right?
Come on.
We've been down that path where we couldn't have a bank account or get a home unless our husbands did a sign for us. So that's on page 581. And then also what stuck out would be 545 to 581, equality. Your right to marry whoever you want. Your equality to be able to speak up for yourself. So they're doing that. 691 is cuts to Social Security. On page 691 is when they're discussing Project 2025, how they're going to cut your Social Security. They're raising the age up now. You have Medicare cuts on page 449 to 503. They're gonna undo Medi-Cal, and then also incarcerating unmarried women who are pregnant.
Come on.
You hear me? Let me say that again. They're gonna incarcerate women who are pregnant and not married.
I never heard that before.
Oh, well, 691. Okay. Page 580 to 581 talks about how they're going to cut unions, dismantle the union. Unions are responsible for us getting 40-hour-a-week work weeks. They're also responsible for us getting overtime, and they want to work you, I think it was 60 hours a week with no overtime at your employee's discretion, your employer discretion. That sounds like slavery to me.
I know that's right.
That sounds. I'm mandated to work 60 hours a week with no overtime, time and a half, double time, none of that. Just straight. And how they could do it is have you work 20 hours the first 2 days, send you home, and then break it up like that, but it's 60 hours a week and not pay you overtime. Page 363, they want to eliminate federal agency. FDA, that's who regulate our food. Federal agency that quality air control. I like to breathe my air. I don't want to eat it.
I know that's all right now.
Okay. That's OSHA, what goes into the ocean, floods. They also are planning on, you know how FEMA comes in and help you with disasters, natural disasters. Well, they want to remove that. And according to what Charles has taught us and we've been studying, if they remove it, we will then, or they come in and do services for you. It used to be a government funded program. So they come in, do the work, help you get your house back to order.
Right.
You got to pay it back now.
Mm.
Those are just a few things that Charles has been so kindly to sit down with us and go over with us and help us study.
Okay, what page is it that you said they talk about? It might have been the same thing with the women's right. Is that in that area where they want to drop the age of the young girls to consent to a man without the authority of their parents? That's 13, huh?
Yeah, it's in that same area.
Saying that you won't have nothing to say if a man wants to marry or date your 13-year-old.
Right.
She could consent herself,
Exactly.
and he won't go to jail or nothing like that.
He'd have bought her some high top Nikes and a cute little outfit and say, "I'm gonna marry you." He can go to your house and tell your daughter, "Come on, let's get married." And she's infatuated over the Nikes and the cute little outfit, and you don't have nothing to say about it. It's crazy. It's sad. It's really, really dangerous, sad. And how can anybody vote for this? I have no idea.
I agree with you on that.
I think it's so many layers to even to that particular one, because when you think about sex trafficking and all of this, these men with power and money, that's who they go after. They go after these young girls, 13, 14, 15 years old, and then they manipulate the minds. They pay the parents off.
Right.
It's just so many different layers to that. So it's all making sense of why I'm trying to bring all of this in law to where we won't be penalized.
Right. Well. Who was DT's buddy, Epstein?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. These are high-powered politicians, preachers, just people with money, millionaires and billionaires, and they know this has been going on forever.
Yeah.
It's just now really coming to surface where it's being more publicized. But they used to buy these girls from other countries, bring them in, and exploit them. Now they're doing it to our girls in this country more and more.
They go
so now it's trying to put all of this stuff into law so they won't get penalized.
Exactly. And they did change, they want to change the law if the woman is not born here and she marries a man, she can't get part of his wealth, and she can be sent back to her country with their children. Wow. The children are not born, they're born here, but they're, how do you say it? National, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Here, but their mom might be Latino and the dad could be black. She has to go back, so do the babies.
Right.
No more what they call anchor babies. The baby's born here and he is a Native American. Not native, but a natural born citizen of America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have so many twists and turns to this until it's heartbreaking. And those are just a few that I've gone over. So I got a notebook full that we sit and go over weekly or daily or whenever Charles been so busy when he has time. we go over those laws and discuss what the
Right.
plan
And
is
those,
for
you
us.
know, and they really want to reinforce it or enforce it towards the minority communities.
Right. Right.
It's, it's,
So I can be able to play this. We're gonna end it here. Well, 1 minute, Pastor, 1 minute, tell us your wrap up. Then 1 minute, tell us your wrap up, and then 1 minute, your wrap up, and we are gonna get you connected. This is, I'm gonna try to be down as
Uh,
possible.
Somebody
the,
got to. I think you got to mute um post because we're getting a lot of feedback.
Okay, go ahead on Pastor Johnson. 1 minute.
you listen to that Charles and Charlotte. I mean, it really elevate our mind to the seriousness of what we are facing. And so this is what really just caught my attention, to realize that we can't sit back and just think things going to happen without our input, our action, and our really diligence in making sure that we do all that we can, and even trusting God that we got to go out there and do the work also.
Absolutely.
Okay, Miss Charlotte. 1 minute, Miss Charlotte. Go ahead. 1 minute.
So I thank you. This has been a very important platform. I'm Charlotte Austin, CEO of Platinum Life, and I am supporting Charles Lewis. It is important and imperative that we get involved in this election. There are a lot of twists and turns, and we cannot sit out. No vote, I'm not going to vote. That's a yes vote for the other side. And to protect your rights, you need to take this bull by the horn and take care of it yourself, not waiting for the neighbor to do it.
Okay, there's your 1 minute. There's go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to you, Renee, for using the platform to educate our community. And I want to say to Pastor and Miss Charlotte and also Mr. Charles Lewis, thank you all so very much. I stand for what you all are doing. Thank you for getting out there and getting the information and bringing awareness and education, because that's what our community needs. We need to go after those that are undecided. Though that generation that's undecided, let's teach them so they will use their right to vote.
Right. People pass, people unalived, so they can have the right.
Amen. Amen.
My guys, my word is thank you all for allowing me to bring you all to the people, that you would let the people know what is going on. And Charles might be coming on, y'all. Oh God, Mr. Charles. Oh Lord, Mr. Charles. In order for me to play it again, you got 1 minute to wrap it up, so I can be able to play it again, because I can only play 2 hours again. So say hello, Mr. Charles. Oh, he done went out again? Oh, he might have just went on out, because, okay, no, there he
I
is.
gotta go, Queen. Thank you for having me. My family's calling. You guys take care. Warriors to the front line. Let's fight.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
Charles, 1 minute to wrap up for tonight, and Dez is here. So Dez wants to connect with you. Did he go out again? I don't know why Charles can't stay up. But anyway, my last final is thank you all for being on the platform. And thank you, Pastor, for taking out of your busy schedule and study. Tell your wife I love her, and I appreciate her for letting you come on here tonight and be with us. And Mr. Charles still trying to get in, y'all. But I'm going to have to cut it in order to be able to play it again. You there, Mr. Charles?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm here only by the mic. Can't get my picture up.
Okay, well, that's okay. Well, Deb is on the platform. While you're down there, I'm going to shoot you her number, and I'm going to shoot her your number. Y'all need to connect, okay? You need to make sure you connect with her so she can see how she can help you, okay?
What is her name?
Her name is Lady Dez.
Lady.
Lady Des, that's her radio name.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love y'all. Father, we just thank you for this opportunity, Lord. Go with them and stand by them and bless everyone that was on this platform and bless this election and let it come forth the way that we have prayed and desired it to come forth for the sake of this community and the integrity of this community and democracy. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Y'all pray.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.